Welcome to Sexuality and Truth with Phil Lees, the podcast where we uncover the realities of youth, sex, and the impact of cultural norms. We also dive into the profound truths written into the human body, truths about life, identity, and design that culture has forgotten, but creation still declares. Today we begin the series, The Silent Language of Life, with Episode 1, featuring a foundational topic, the blueprint of beginnings. In a time when confusion surrounds sexuality and identity, how can we return to the original design? One that speaks silently through biology, but powerfully through purpose. Join us as we explore the anatomy of the reproductive system and discover how our bodies, created by God, were designed not just to survive, but to give life. Now, let's get into today's episode.
Here's something that will completely change how you think about your body. Among all your biological systems, only one wasn't designed for you at all. It exists purely to create the next generation.
That's such a fascinating perspective. The reproductive system really does stand apart from everything else in our biology, doesn't it?
Well, think about it. Your heart, lungs, brain, they're all working to keep you alive. But this rebel system, it's entirely focused on creating new life. And the engineering behind it is absolutely mind-blowing.
You know what really gets me? The sheer scale of what's happening. I mean, the male body produces something like 100 million sperm cells per milliliter. That's just astronomical.
And here's what's even more incredible. Each of those millions of sperm contains exactly half the genetic material needed for human life. The precision is just, well, it's beyond anything we could design ourselves.
Speaking of precision, what about the female system? The timing and coordination required there is equally remarkable.
Oh, absolutely. You've got this incredible synchronization happening. The uterus rebuilding its lining every month, the exact timing of ovulation, the fallopian tubes creating this perfect environment for fertilization. And get this, when the right sperm meets the egg, it actually creates an electrical charge to prevent any others from getting in.
That's fascinating. It's like nature's own security system.
And you know what's really mind-blowing? The journey these reproductive cells take is proportionally equivalent to a human running several marathons. When you scale it to their size, it's this epic voyage.
Well, that puts things in perspective. And isn't it amazing how the male body maintains this precise temperature control, just slightly below body temperature, for optimal sperm production?
Exactly. It's like having this built-in thermal regulation system that's accurate to fractions of a degree. And here's something else that's fascinating. During their journey, sperm cells actually undergo chemical changes that make them stronger and more capable of fertilization.
So they're literally transforming as they travel? That's incredible. How does that work exactly?
Well, it's this process called capacitation. The sperm cells interact with various chemicals in the female reproductive tract that essentially activate them, making them more powerful swimmers and preparing them for their final mission.
You know what this reminds me of? How the female body creates an entirely new organ, the placenta, just for pregnancy. No other system can do that.
Right? And that's just one example of how this system keeps surprising us. The hormonal orchestra conducting all of this is equally impressive. You've got testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, and dozens of other chemicals all working in perfect harmony.
The timing of it all must be incredibly precise.
Like a Swiss watch. And here's what really gets me thinking. All of this incredible design, all of this precision and purpose, it's pointing to something bigger than just biological processes. It's like there's this silent message being broadcast about the value and purpose of human life.
That's such a thoughtful observation. It's hard to look at something this intricate and not see evidence of intentional design.
And consider this. The male and female systems are completely complementary. Neither makes any sense on its own. It's only when you put them together that you see the full picture of how life begins.
Like two halves of a map that only reveal the full journey when brought together.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is how this system maintains itself. The male body is constantly producing new sperm cells, while the female body prepares for potential pregnancy in regular cycles. It's like this perpetual readiness for creating new life.
You know, when you put it all together like this, it really does tell an amazing story about who we are as human beings.
And that's really the key takeaway here. Our bodies are constantly telling us something profound about the value of human life. Every detail, every process, every mechanism points to something greater than random chance.
Well, this has certainly given me a new appreciation for the complexity built into our biology.
And to think we've only scratched the surface, there's so much more to explore about how this incredible system works and what it tells us about our purpose as human beings.
That's it for today's episode of Sexuality and Truth with Phil Lees. We hope this conversation has opened your eyes to the incredible design of the human body and encouraged you to reflect on the silent message of life built into our biology. Thanks for joining us in this much-needed conversation. Be sure to check the description of this episode for the link to our official page, where you can find all current and upcoming episodes of The Silent Language of Life. And don't miss episode 2, The Miracle of the Seed, where we'll explore the male reproductive system, the continuous production of sperm, and what that reveals about God's purpose for life and legacy. If you found this episode helpful, share it with other parents, church leaders, and educators who can benefit from this message. Together, we can make a difference in how the next generation understands their identity, purpose, and value. Until next time, stay grounded, stay curious, and keep listening to the silent language of life.